the last home game for you guys? What were your just overall thoughts right off the bat?
Well, I think the thing that we really try to do here, going into this last stretch of the season, the thing that we really tried, even over the course of the year, we really tried to endear ourselves to our fans in terms of how hard we wanted to play and how hard we wanted to try to compete and our effort and preparation. And my staff's done a great job all year, I think, with preparation. I think my team's grown with preparation. Last part is just got to be able to go out and do it. You got to be able to do it on both ends of the floor. You have to do it defensively. You have to be able to do it offensively, And when you're coming into this game, that this team here, the strength of their team was offensive rebounding. They have some physicality right now on us in terms of matchups. We knew that coming in. And, we had one guy that could really shoot the basketball in green. And we didn't do a great job early on letting him get off to a great start, you have to have this time of year, you have to have enthusiasm. You have to be excited about competing. And, tonight we lacked a little bit of that tonight.
Understanding that, obviously you guys know you're not going against the conference tournament, would you have liked to see just a little bit more, kind of like you said, determination and interest in going out and competing tonight?
Well, again, I always say, you're always playing for something. You know what I mean? Regardless, whether you have an opportunity for postseason play or not, you're competing, and all competitors, they compete. And anytime there's competition, you're hoping that it brings out the best in yourself in terms of how hard you compete. And every opportunity, you never get these back. And I know, young guys sometimes think, I'm going to have some more games and more to my career. But every game, the one in front of you right now is the most important. You got to leave it all out there on the line. And we've logged a lot of minutes with a lot of guys that have played for us right now to this point of the season. And they got to want to try to finish this out the right way in terms of their effort and how hard they play.
Coach, over the course of the season, you had expectations, or you had an idea of what you guys were going to encounter. Was there any challenges that were surprises to you that ended up being more difficult than what you imagined over the course of this season?
No, I think the one thing that we really tried to work hard with, even with our training staff and strength and conditioning group, Coach, was to really try to have these guys try to stay injury free. And for a better part of the year, we did a pretty good job of that. And when you have a short rotation and you can't really lose guys. And we lost Effie. That was a big blow to us. Because we lost an inside presence that could score the basketball and could rebound the ball for us. You try to again, get guys to understand how important it is to take care of their bodies and to really hone in on that part of their game. But I don't think other than that, outside of that, I didn't think there were any other surprises. I've had teams in the past, where we had 7 guys and eventually, those guys lost so many minutes, they're going to wear down a little bit, and even older players. I had older players with the 7-man rotation, and by the end of the year, those guys were, all the treads were off the tires, and obviously, for us moving forward, this spring it's going to be huge for us with development, and summer is going to be really big for us with development. But development will always be big in our program, though.
When you were introduced to us last year, you said something that personally stood out to me. You made a mention about how it was important not just to recruit for next year, but to recruit the people that you have to stay in today's game with all the transfers and all of that. Has that process already started with you? And if not, when is it going to start for you and your staff to keep everyone that's?
No, that's a great question. That's a great question. And when you look at our roster and the makeup of the guys who've been productive for us this year and gotten things done, it's been primarily our young players that have been consistent trying to do that for us night in and night out. And around the country, if you don't have a relationship with your players and you don't spend time with them, then someone else is trying to talk to them as well. So the Jordan Lathams, Nigel Hawkins, those guys have all shown good flashes throughout the course of the year. It's been hard. Freshmen are always going to be up and down and help. We got a chance to coach one of the best freshmen to ever play in Kevin Durant. And Kevin had peaks and valleys. Even the best talent as freshmen, they're really trying to strive to be consistent on a regular basis. And I thought that my freshmen have really tried to do that all year long. And obviously we have to re-recruit those guys, obviously, because they've shown that they can, on given nights, play at a pretty high level as well. So yes, you have to have relationships. You have to, again, be endearing to those guys that, hey, you know what, you guys are the building blocks. And we've said that from the very beginning. We've tried to play all of our freshmen significant minutes this year because they were given an opportunity this year to be able to do that and play through mistakes and do things. We'll have more guys next year, and they won't have to be out there for extended periods of time like that moving forward, but they got a chance to grow in games. Casey got a chance to grow in games this year, and in some places he may be a guy that really needs to redshirt and continue to develop. But he got a chance to play a little bit and do some things, So, we'll be better for that moving forward,
Do you think, you touched on that obviously with all the reps that these young guys got. Obviously, I know you probably would have liked to win a few more games as a competitive guy. For you, was this a disappointing season? Was this a successful season for you? How are you kind of looking at it right now?
I think it's mixed a little bit there. I think again, when you look at the makeup in terms of how you tried to put the team together for this year and the program moving forward in terms of our recruiting vision right now, I thought again coming in, I've been really happy with my freshmen. What they've been able to do, and they've obviously been bought into what we're trying to do because they get the big picture. That's a big picture. And there have been many times this year I've had to kind of pull myself back and really understand the big picture. In terms of what we're trying to go and what we're trying to do, and would we have liked to won some more games in the process? For sure. And we had games in the balance that we had opportunities to win that we couldn't close out. But I always say, and these guys hear me say it all the time, there are going to be a lot of struggles in your life. In order for you to get where you want to get to, you have to go through struggles, and these struggles, again, they're very rewarding for you when you get where you want to get to at the end of the day. And that's where we are right now. No one's going to feel sorry for you in terms of where you are. You're going to have to continue to work, and, this year's going to make me a better coach. It's going to make my staff a better staff. It's going to make my players better, because we had a chance to have some tough lessons and learn, really hard this year in terms of what we had to do and how we had to do it.
Coach, talking about learning, guys like Bryson, Anthony, Soley, watching from the bench, from behind the bench all season long, what kind of things do you hope that they learned over the course of this season and what they witnessed? And if so, have you talked to them about it?
Well, oftentimes when guys are not playing, they're getting a chance to look at the game a lot like a coach. They're looking through the lens of a coach and seeing the things that we're talking about in terms of details and how hard you have to play and what you have to do. Now it helps that those guys have played. Bryson's played 2 years. And Bryson played 28 minutes, almost 28 minutes a game. And he's put it in the books. So. A lot of times with freshmen, they're still trying to learn how to do it in the lights consistently, night in and night out. And to be honest with you, our young players, after about 3 or 4 ball games, there's a scouting report, and there's a big bullseye. We got to do a great job on Jordan Lathan. He likes to go right, likes to do this, likes to do that. So they had to learn what that takes in terms of game prep, in terms of game planning, teams of game planning. And now you have to be able to play through some of that and still do what you do at the level that we want to do it. But to answer your question, I think those guys are super excited. Those guys live in the gym. It's a close-knit group. They become really close to one another. And again, it's not going to be easy. It's not just going to be snap your fingers and those guys are playing next year and, boy, it's going to be this magic one. But we're going to be better. We're going to be deeper. We're going to be stronger. And hopefully we score the ball a lot better than we did, So, man, we're making it a whole lot easier for ourselves in terms of that. I know we're gonna be a team that rebounds better, and stuff. But I like to think that we're gonna score the ball a little bit better and do a little bit of things, better things on that end of the floor.
We'll do 2 more questions, guys.
Just last game of the season against the same team you played tonight. What do you want to see differently on Saturday?
Not a whole lot. In terms of you can make an adjustment here, adjustment there, but at the end of the day, with these guys, we know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what we're doing. We can call out their plays. They can call out our plays. We can call out their defenses when they call foul. We know what they're in. They know what we're in. So at the end of the day, it's what's up here and it's what's in your chest in terms of how hard you want to compete and if you want to go out and out compete this team. So, the preparation piece is there. We know what it, again, there's not gonna be one thing that they do that we don't know. There's not gonna be one tendency from a personnel standpoint that a guy's gonna do out there that we don't know. We know. They're gonna do exactly what we're telling you. So it's gonna get down to who still wants to play, and who's excited about competing, and just wanting to do some things that we haven't done all year. We haven't won on the road all year. You ought to want to try to win your last game. Take it into the spring, as a springboard into what we have to do. We got to get better this spring. We know that. Our young players have to make a huge leap developmentally this spring. We know that. They know that. They know what they need to work on likewise. We'll start our exit meetings next week, on strengths, weaknesses, game plan on how we're going to improve, what we need to improve moving forward, and I don't know, I'm excited about it. We'll roll our sleeves up, and I do know this. I like our guys we have in our program. They're going to have to develop some level of toughness, some grit, moving forward, because that's what we're going to stand for, and that's what we're going to demand. And I want it to be more player-driven as opposed to coach-driven. And, so we'll work on all those things, all those intangibles,
Coach,
what it takes to be successful.
One more question.
I know that this question is going to be a recurring theme from now until the season starts next year, so I'll ask it first. What's going to be the balance of taking this experience and looking back on it and learning from it, and then also moving forward with the young team? You always talk about how young players have short memories. How important is it to establish that kind of balance, and is it going to be key for your team to be successful to remember parts of this season?
Well, we're still going to be a relatively young team. I mean, we're going to have 7 sophomores, 3 freshmen, and 3 juniors, no seniors. So we're built to be a program that has a chance to take a lot of strides over the next 2 years. And really try to hone in on the things for what we're going to try to stand for. Be a team that tries to defend really hard every night. Try to rebound the basketball. Try to play a faster pace on offense in terms of trying to be able to score the basketball. And guys that really want to score the basketball. I think with that being said, understand how important spring and every workout, whether you're in the weight room, whether you're on the floor, how important it is to master the things that we're asking you to do, whether it's ball handling, shooting, passing, just getting stronger. Our bodies have to look totally different moving forward, and then we have to play the part, can't just look the part. I mean, we'll look like a Mountain West team, we'll look like a lower high major team next year with size, and even the young guys, you'll see a big jump in their bodies. Their bodies have already changed from the start of the season to where they are right now. But you'll see that aspect as well, and I'm excited about that moving forward, and I'm excited about having some bodies, and bodies that care, and bodies that are bought in. Really hard to do this if you're not bought in. You got to be 100% bought into what we're doing and how we're doing things. And we didn't have that even with the 7 guys. We didn't have 7 committed guys that doing that all year long. And I've never thrown anybody under the bus all year in the process of doing that. Again, we win and lose together as a team, and we'll be better moving forward. But our guys have got a chance to experience that it's really hard to do, and they've seen it firsthand, whether it's practicing games. If you're not bought in, you can't play at this level.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Coach. Have a good night. Appreciate it.